Okay, hello and welcome back to the stream. We are not streaming World of Warcraft, no. We are finishing up Butterfly Soup 2 because I will probably be finally starting work again very soon. So I wanted to get this done before that happened so that I wouldn't have it hanging over my head. Depending on how the work schedule shakes out and all that, I will probably maybe focus just on World of Warcraft for a bit if I feel up to streaming at all. And then once I've kind of settled in at my job, then I'll start one of the other visual novels that I've really wanted to stream that I've been wanting to play. So we have played from Akarsha's point of view, Dia's point of view, Min's point of view, and now it's Noelle's point of view. And I was thinking about the order of the points of view, and the first Butterfly Soup game, we started with Dia's point of view and ended with Min's point of view, and kind of watched them work towards becoming a couple. But with Butterfly Soup 2, we started with Akarsha's point of view, and we're ending with Noelle's point of view, and we already know that Akarsha has a crush on Noelle. So I feel like whatever situation is going on between Akarsha and Noelle, it's going to be wrapped up in this chapter, in this last part. Because it matches up with the previous Butterfly Soup game. But of course the best way to find that out is to go ahead and start playing. Okay, teacher. I am not going to try to pronounce this because I cannot read the Chinese alphabet or whatever this would be called. I'm just going to read the translation here. The first phrase is mirror. Noelle copies down the unfamiliar characters on the board stroke by stroke. What did it look like again? I think it was this one. Why do you expect me to be able to copy that? Noelle writes it down, that checks against the words on the board. I got it right. Now for the next one. The next phrase is admit. Okay. You should already know recognize. This meaning is to bear or to carry. This would be easier if Chinese words use an alphabet like most languages. Yeah, I get that. Infuriates me how you can't tell how a Chinese character is pronounced by the way it looks. You're forced to learn every single word twice, how it sounds and what it looks like. It's wildly inefficient. And this is a 5th grader, okay? She's in 5th grade, so for the non-Americans, she's 9 or 10. A couple hours into the lesson, a kid towards the back of the room raises his hand. Teacher, how many Chinese characters are there? A lot. At least 80,000. 80,000? Don't worry, most educated people only know about 8,000. 8,000 is still a mind-boggling number. After school, Noelle does her weekly packet of Chinese homework at the kitchen table. I spent every Saturday since kindergarten tediously memorizing a few characters at a time, but it's barely even made a dent. After all these years, I still can't even read a book or the newspaper. At this pace, it's hard to imagine I'll ever be able to. So, when I have looked up Chinese, Korean, or even Japanese names, the meaning of there's like several different characters you could use for each name, and which character you use changes the meaning of the name. They still pronounce the name the same regardless of which character. Noelle, what is this? Noelle looks up to see her mom holding the sample packet of pads and tampons she got from school. Really? At 5th grade? Oh, that's from the sex ed talk we had in class. Girls received a presentation about menstruation. 10 years old and they're already getting that kind of talk. Of course, my situation was kind of similar. My sisters and I all were hitting puberty way too early, so we went on shots to delay it as long as possible. The school gave you this? Using a tampon is the same as having sex. No. That's not what the teacher giving the talk said. It's just a tool for absorbing blood. No, you'll be able to feel it the whole time, and it goes into... Her mom can't even bear to say it. I don't use tampons. I don't want to stick anything up there. I have, and it was very uncomfortable. I don't want to do it again. It's the same as having sex with a man. My understanding is that men are bigger than a tampon. But, yeah, this is the kind of stuff that some people... It's not surprising that someone thinks that way. The woman giving the talk said plenty of girls use it. American girls get their periods so early because they're thinking sexual thoughts at a young age. That's not what causes it. It's not natural. You shouldn't be thinking about these things until you're married. After throwing away the immoral tampons, her mom goes off to the living room to watch a Chinese variety show. It's hard growing up trusting very little of your parents' judgment. I get it. My mom doesn't believe in mental illness, yet genuinely believes in superstitions like auspicious dates, and no amount of proof or argument can sway her. Is Chinese society just decades behind the West? I've yet to meet a white person whose mind works this way. Oh, there are white people whose minds work that way too, just unfortunately you haven't encountered them. But yeah, there are people all over the world, not just in China, who have really odd ideas. Noelle glances over at the show her mom is watching. Colorful words and cartoons fly across the screen as cheesy sound effects play. So tacky. One of those shows where they interview a panel of foreigners who can barely speak Mandarin. Noelle cringes as silly boing noises are overlaid over the host's joke. They're just laughing at the foreigners for not understanding the questions they've been asked. Why is this popular? It's so juvenile and embarrassing. And keep in mind that this is a 10-year-old girl thinking this. I feel like I'm losing brain cells as I listen to this. Disgusted, Noelle returns to scrutinizing the impenetrable paragraph of Chinese she's supposed to be analyzing for homework. What am I even going to use Chinese for? Watching dribble like that? I have no interest in the backwards culture that produced by pathetic, narrow-minded parents. I wouldn't say Chinese is backwards, just the version she's been exposed to and is being exposed to. When a commercial break comes on, she throws down her pencil. I want to quit Chinese school. Her mom rolls around from the couch, alarmed. What? Why? I hate it. It always takes up my entire Saturday. They assign so much homework every week on top of the regular homework I get from school. Noelle's dad looks up disapprovingly from the newspaper he's reading. Well, you can't quit. What kind of Chinese person can't even speak Chinese? We'll lose face if you don't learn. Other people will think we're bad parents. It's all about their image. It's not about what Noelle wants or what she would rather do. It's all about how her actions reflect on them, and that is not a healthy way to raise a kid. Why does it matter what other people think? Thank you. I'm the one whose limited time is being sucked away by it. My opinion should be the one that matters the most. No, you have to listen to your parents. It's for your own good. You're too young to understand. Almost nothing drives Noelle up a wall more than being told she's not old enough to understand something. Stop treating me like some feeble-minded little kid. I read at college level already. It doesn't matter, you don't have the life experience yet. Some things you can only know from being as old as your parents are. What, so just because you're older than me, you're automatically smarter than I am? Yes. I don't accept that. It's your culture, you can't just throw it away. Yes, I can. It's a poorly constructed, archaic language. That's not true. If it's so bad, how come it's worked for thousands of years? You should take more pride in your culture. What is there to be proud of? I'm stuck learning the worst, most pointlessly complicated language in the world. Exasperated, Noelle's parents exchange a look. You're still going to Chinese school. We already paid for your classes this year. Can I quit at the end of the year then? If you still feel this way by the end of the year, fine, you can quit. I can? Huh? No, she can't. Think about it. If she goes to Chinese school with that kind of attitude, she won't learn anything anyway. And it's impossible to teach someone who doesn't want to be educated. We might as well at least save money. Yes, The end of the year is pretty far away, but at least the end is in sight now. Quitting Chinese school will significantly free up my schedule. I could probably read a few more books every week. That's what she thinks of, is that she can read more books if she has that time free. It'll be so worth it. When I'm older, I'll be so thankful that I quit. Noelle is so elated that she doesn't even mind being dragged along to a 99 ranch with her mom, a trip she normally gripes is a waste of time. As they browse the fish ball aisle, her mom's Nokia rings. She quickly brings it to her ear. Hello? There's a pause. Her mom's face falls. What is it? Alma passed away. Taiwanese. Interesting that it's Taiwanese. I know it's connected to China somehow. Okay, Taiwan, officially the Republic of China, is a country in East Asia. The main island of Taiwan, also known as Formosa, lies between the East and South China Seas and the northwestern Pacific Ocean, with the People's Republic of China to the northwest, Japan to the northeast, and the Philippines to the south. So, it's definitely connected to China. Official languages are Standard Chinese. Official script is Traditional Chinese. National languages Mandarin, Hokkien, Hakka, Formosan, Matsu, Wuku, Taiwan Sign Language. Interesting that Taiwan Sign Language is specified. Oh, I know I should be sad, but I haven't seen my grandmother for years. I've never had a real conversation with her before. It's like being told a stranger died. 9th grade. Spring break. I scrolled back so I could do this. Okay. Noelle isn't allowed to close her bedroom door, so she's on high alert as she uses the computer. That's crazy that she doesn't even get privacy, probably except just to sleep. And I bet even if she was allowed to close her bedroom door, her parents wouldn't knock before barging in. It sounds like my mother's busy washing vegetables in the kitchen. Here's my chance. Noelle quickly searches homosexuality on Wikipedia. Skim this page once his research after Akarsha started insisting Dia and Minseo were romantically involved. But I'm positive there's no mention of it being possible for two women to have sexual relations. Would have remembered it. Okay, gonna grab my dice real quick. Luckily, I keep them nearby. But yeah, I remember when I was first learning about homosexuality and being queer in general, that I was like, how could two women do it? They don't have the parts. Just like, how could two men do it, you know? But I think everyone who's kind of exploring that is like, how does that work? Okay, so I got a d6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5. Click the sexual intercourse hyperlink. The link leads to a more general page called Human Sexual Intercourse. Two Noelles discuss the features of painting of a man and a woman copulating. This is repulsive. I'd really rather not stay on this page for too long. Sexual intercourse commonly refers to the act in which the male reproductive organ enters the female reproductive tract. In recent years, penetration of non-sexual organs, or by non-sexual organs, fingering, fisting, are also sometimes included in this definition. What on earth is fingering? Is this the finger thing Minseo was referring to? Click the fingering hyperlink. The page opens. At the top, there's a simple illustration of a naked woman stroking the genitals of another woman. What is this? This is so risque! Noelle breaks into a feverish sweat as she reads the page as quickly as possible. Then, in a panic, Noelle closes the tab, erases her web history, and shuts the computer down. Minseo was right. I can't believe it. Such erotic content be allowed on Wikipedia? Anyone can read it. That's the point. Let's destroy all evidence that I visited that page. Should I uninstall the browser, delete my user profile, perhaps set the computer on fire for good measure? This better not awaken anything in me. Noelle jumps in her chair when she receives a text. Checked your phone. Is it just me or does King Diddy look kinda sexy in this drawing? Most popular deviation submitted in the last rainy forest and fan art. Question mark. Anyone else? Hello? Anyone care to raise a hand? You're insane. Would anyone else hit it? Hello? Well? Banging on your door. If you would fucking Diddy a penguin, you're braver than the U.S. Marines. Dia has left the chat room. Min has left the chat room. Well, why are you like this? I'm so bored. Crying emoji. I've been stuck at home all day. Unfortunate for you, I can't entertain you for long either. I have to leave for the airport soon. Oh yeah, you're visiting Taiwan, right? How long are you going to be there again? I'll be there for the entire week. My mom and I will return Sunday afternoon. So it's not so much that Noelle is Chinese. I mean, she's from that part of the world, but she's Taiwanese. I assume Chinese because there was all that stuff about China and stuff. So, but they apparently use the same alphabet. So there you go. My dad is staying for an additional week there for business purposes. Can I still message you when you're there? Do you have to use a VPN or something? No, as long as I have internet access, we should be able to chat like usual. Really? But isn't there like hella censorship? No, there's nothing like that in Taiwan. It's not as if I'm going to China. Right. Also, what's the difference between China and Taiwan again? Hashtag shot. I mean, I know Taiwan's an island, but is it like, you said you were shot, yet you're still talking like nothing happened? Its own country? I have high pain tolerance. No, you don't. Anyway, I tried to ask in geography class once, and everyone started arguing. Everyone started arguing because it's a political question. Whether Taiwan is a part of China or a separate country is an extremely controversial issue. Right. I think it came about because of the whole thing with China becoming communist, and I think Taiwan kind of became the area where they were made democratic. Why though? To be honest, I'm not clear on the details. As I understand, the dispute is the result of a civil war that was never properly resolved. Huh. So are you Taiwanese or Chinese? Or both? Well, I went to Chinese school as a child, and my parents told me Chinese folk tales. Is that how it works? Just because I speak English doesn't mean I'm English. To be frank, I'm floundering because I've never given it any thought. LOL. Oops. I didn't mean to give you an identity crisis. Crisis. Even if I say I'm Taiwanese, hardly anyone knows what that means, even other East Asians. That kind of sounds like how most Americans don't really get Desi identities. How so? Like, they think about it based on country. Like you're Pakistani or Indian, etc. But the countries weren't split on racial lines. Nope. I think it's the same way with Africa, though I think with Africa they've kind of given in to the pressure to go along with the country identities. But I think with Africa it was there's more of a push to divide them, and with India, I'm not saying I'm right, with India there wasn't as much, because Africa, it was basically divided amongst the Western powers. Like, you get this portion, this is your portion, this is your portion, this is your portion, this is my portion. With India, it was basically Britain took over that whole area. I'm not an expert on this. This is the impression I've gotten from what I have studied. Like, an Indian Punjabi isn't really the same ethnicity as an Indian Guju. But it's all the same to non-Desis because they don't know the difference, LOL. Oh, you're right. I don't know the difference. Wait, I know! The answer is what you are, the answer to what you are, what is it? You're French. Karsha. You're so smart, but you're such a dumbass at the same time. Because you're Frenchman. That doesn't help me at all. No? No. Later that day, Noelle sits in the back seat as her dad drives them to the airport. She feels a flash of rage when she sees a passing car sporting a proud parent of an honor roll student bumper sticker. Why would you brag about such an unremarkable accomplishment on your car? You're supposed to be on the honor roll. It's like buying a bumper sticker that says, "My child breathes air." Not every parent pushes their kid to be academically successful. There we go. I was trying to think of the word. My parents would never even bother mentioning such a banal thing. Because to them it is banal. That's like the minimum. Noelle's mom squints at the airport signage as it passes them by. "Well, watch the signs for us." "Why me? I don't even know how to drive." "You were born here. You read faster than us." "Alright. How is it that after living here for 20 years they still haven't mastered English? My mom can't even speak English well enough to carry a conversation with a stranger. What have they been doing this whole time?" "Raising you." "Which way is parking? Which lane?" "Just follow the arrows. Turn right." See, even though I have a PhD, ever since you were in second grade, you could read highway signs faster than me. Good thing we have Noelle with us. The signs go by so fast. Noelle's dad scratches his head as she directs him through the airport's labyrinthian roads. Where is it? It feels like we're just going in circles. We're not. See that sign there? The parking's past the cargo area. Do I turn here? Noelle's heart stops as her dad starts to turn to a street labeled with "Do Not Enter." It says, "Do not enter. Keep straight." "Oh!" Her dad swerves sharply to stay in his lane. Noelle massages her temples, her heart pounding. I'm surrounded by illiterate idiots. Why does it rest on me, a little child, to ensure we don't drive into oncoming traffic? They have an endless energy when it comes to obsessing over my studies. Why can't they work on their own English instead? As the car rolls into a parking lot, Noelle jumps up in her seat. Wait, this isn't the correct garage. Turn around. Huh? How do you know? That sign says premium parking. Premium means something of exceptional quality, superior. So, isn't that good? Not right now when we're looking for the regular run-of-the-mill parking lot. In this context, premium parking means special parking that's more expensive. Oh! Make a U-turn. We're going to miss our flight. Noelle's mom sighs as the car makes a series of turns. This would have been easier if you could talk to us in Chinese. This would have been easier if your English was better, too. Noelle crosses her arms in the back seat, fuming. Why am the one responsible for making sure we're not separated by a language barrier? You were the ones who chose to move here in the first place. But the thing is, learning a language 16 hours later is harder as an adult than as a child. Taipei. I know that's how that's pronounced. Yeah, learning language is easier when you're young. Like, there's something in your brain that it makes it easier to just get languages. And when you get older, it's just harder. I will say, some people pick up languages more easily than others. Like, my twin and I both took Spanish in high school, and for a while we were in the same Spanish class. And she struggled more than I did in some cases to figure out what, like, the teacher took her textbook and was holding it and was saying, "Yo tengo tu libro." And she was supposed to say, "You have my book," in Spanish. But she couldn't figure out how to say that. Like, she was saying it in English, but he wanted her to say it in Spanish. So he's standing there, 6'4" in cowboy boots, going, "Yo tengo tu libro." It was really funny. But I think eventually she did figure out what she was supposed to say. But I'm sitting there across the room going, "You're supposed to say this." Like, I was trying to do the twin thing, tell her, this is what you're supposed to say. But the twin thing isn't real. Or maybe it just doesn't work for fraternal twins. But it's just really funny that he's this 6'4" man in cowboy boots saying, "Yo tengo tu libro." And for the people who don't understand Spanish, he was saying, "I have your book." Noelle and her parents take a taxi from the airport to an alley lined with parked scooters. This must be Haegong's apartment. We're staying there for the week. I'm assuming he's the husband of the grandmother who died. Her mom presses the buzzer. "We're here. Come in, come in." Yeah, I am not reading the Chinese, as I said. I'm just going to read the subtitles. After huffing and puffing up 4 stories of stairs, Noelle is drenched in sweat. "Hey! Yay, you're finally here! Junhua, you've grown so big!" "Yeah, I must have been in elementary school the last time you saw me." This must be one of my cousins. "Noelle, don't be rude. Introduce yourself in Chinese." I'm everyone. I forwarded Ying. My pronunciation is so atrocious, I don't know if they can even understand me. I've heard that pronunciation for Chinese and Japanese, I don't know if it's the same for Korean or other Asian languages, is very surprised. The merest change of inflection changes what you're saying. What did you say? Laram Lei. Can I just talk in English? Hey, Gong doesn't speak English. He only knows Japanese, Taiwanese, and Mandarin. Even the Mandarin he's nearly forgotten. Da-Ai gestures at her daughter. She's wearing thick glasses and carrying a huge brick of a book. So this must be Noelle's aunt. Noelle, you speak English with Chunhua. She won't go to college in America, so she's very happy to practice speaking. Yes, you can call me literature. Is that a name she chose herself? Chinese people have such odd tastes in English names. This is reminding me of the other visual novel that I played that was set in Hong Kong, where they had Chinese names, but then their parents also gave them Western names. That's alright, Junhua is fine. We are the same ages, right? Who do you think is more tall? Junhua eagerly stands back to back with Noelle so the others can judge. Wait, you're standing on your tiptoes. That's cheating. Huh? No, I am not. Wow, you two are the exact same height. They're both skin and bones. They really are cousins. One US version, one Taiwan version. Noelle glances at Chunhua and realizes with a start that she's right. It's like me, a version of myself from a universe where my parents never went to America. Stranger with my face. I mean, they do look a lot alike. You can definitely see a family resemblance. You're sure I'm not taller? Yes, we're sure. Yes, we sure. Poor man. That must be Taiwanese. Oh, okay. That's Taiwanese. That's what they're speaking. Chunhua gives him an affectionate hug as Noelle awkwardly watches from the sidelines. Meanwhile, the adults launch into an animated conversation in Taiwanese. I wonder what they're talking about. My Taiwanese is even worse than my Mandarin. I don't know a single word. Actually, wait, isn't Daegong Taiwanese? They didn't cover it in Chinese school. Could it be a term exclusively used in Taiwan? It's really a special sort of confusion, not knowing what language you're speaking. Da-Ai leads Noelle's parents to the spare bedroom so they can put their luggage away. This reminds me how I used to assume Japanese curry was a Chinese dish because my mom made it regularly. If you have a distant relationship with your parents, your culture becomes a nebulous cloud. Is it Chinese to believe pseudoscience? Is it Chinese to have an outdated and sexist worldview? Or is it that just my parents in my particular? Just your parents. How do I distinguish between things peculiar to my life and Chinese culture? Chunhua brightly takes a seat next to Noelle. Anything you have questions about, you can ask me. Okay. But yeah. Oh. It crashed. Okay, yeah, great. Yeah, just as I was about to save it, it crashed. Okay, let's get back to where we were. Yeah, I'm just skipping through this. I like how it shows how much it relates even, it shows that they are talking, it's just that Noelle can't understand what they're saying. Okay. Let's ask about her book. What are you reading? It's a Chinese translation of a Russian novel. What it's called in English, I don't know. Something brothers. It's brothers and it's Russian. The brothers Karamazov? Yes, that sounds correct. I've read it before too. This is exciting. I've never met anyone else my age who's read it. Did you like it? Religious things were of little interest to me, but I found some of its other ideas thought-provoking. For example, it argues that humans are so deeply shaped by others that everyone bears some responsibility for the sins of everyone else. Everything we do is the result of a huge interwoven chain reaction of human interactions, and as a result, a crime is never truly one person's fault. It's a societal failure. To Ronald's disappointment, Chunhua nods, looking lost. I see. Guess what I said was beyond her English level. I need to scale back to a simpler topic. Do you like reading? I like reading. Are you nerdy? The sudden question baffles Noelle. Yes, I suppose so. Good, me too. On the wall, there's even a photo of me that what? Actually, I changed my mind. Don't look too much at the photos on the wall. They're embarrassing. What else do you want to know? Let's ask about the area. Tell me about the surrounding area. Let's look outside. Junhua goes over to the window and points as Noelle peers outside at the street below. That way is my house. Me and my mom, we walk over all the time. So they even have a 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is everywhere. Western corporations are everywhere. You must live pretty close by if you're able to come on foot. Yes, we're only a few streets away from Agong. Every weekend me and my cousin spend here. That's so different from my experience. When you're all settled, the 7-Eleven, we go and grab breakfast. Breakfast from 7-Eleven? What, you've never had it? It's good. It is? It won't be all greasy? No, they have fresh tea, eggs, hot yams, oden, if you want a prepackaged breakfast. They'll heat it for you too. In America, is it not like that? No, American 7-Elevens are just junk food stores. Pretty much. Junhua points at the train as it rushes by. There's a train station near us. We take it a lot. You don't use the car to get around? Not much. When we can't use the train, we ride our scooter. What else do you want to know? Well, we're gonna ask about the photos. Tell me about these photos. Okay, if you're sure. They go over to look at the pictures on the wall. The first one's of Agong and Chunhua at the park. There's a small chestnut-colored warbler sitting on Chunhua's arm. That bird, at the park we found him abandoned. It was because he fell out of his nest and broke his wing. Well, that poor thing. After it got better, we taught him to fly so he could go back to the wild. See, that's very noble of you. It was Agong's idea. He's quiet, but he is so nice, actually. You seem very close to your grandpa. Your grandpa? He's your grandpa, too. Oh, that's right. It's hard to remember. I mean, when did you last see him? It's hard to make the trip from America to China. I mean, it just said it took 16 hours to get there. But that was from parking the car. But I've flown from California to Europe, and that was with a layover in France. And that took a long time. That was like 6 hours? Maybe more. To hide her embarrassment, Noelle quickly moves on to the next photo. Looks old. A swarm of children are building a sandcastle as smiling adults look on in the background. This is me, Wan Ping and Wan Zhang. Wan Ping and Wan Zhang are my older cousins. They're my uncle's children. Wan Zhang's working right now. Too bad Wan Ping is traveling right now, or else we could have hung out. Where is he visiting? Japan. It's his honeymoon. Honeymoon? Did he get married? Yes, a month ago. Oh, I had no idea. In the picture, the people behind us is Juju, Agong, and Amma. We didn't know it, knew it, but that weekend was our last one with Amma. I can't help but feel jealous they had any weekends together. While she was spending every Saturday with her cousins and grandparents, I was at school struggling to learn an entire language so I could even begin to communicate with them. Junhua reluctantly gestures at the last photo, which she was clearly saving for last. And this one is of me with all my anime figures. Oh, so this is what you meant by nerdy. It's alright, I have a good friend who's interested in this sort of thing too. Really? And she's American? Yes. She sounds cool. I want to meet her. You do? Once Noel turns away from the photos, Chunhua points to a framed certificate hanging on the wall behind her. You should look at this award too. It's your mom's. What? Really? Yeah, in college she won a bunch of poetry contests. She was even in the newspaper. I had no idea. This is going to sound extremely mean, but I never suspected my mom had any sort of creative talent. But I bet it's all in either Chinese, probably just in Chinese. No one's ever known of her as a strict, closed-minded housewife. Here, you should read her things. She's very skilled. Chunhua pulls the magazine out from a cabinet and flips it open to a page of poetry. See what I mean? Some people just have a way with words. It's a big waste she quit. I guess there wasn't enough reason to keep doing it over in America. Noelle stares blankly at her mom's poem. Can't read any of it. That evening, Noelle and her parents walked to the subway. That's rough, realizing that because she quit Chinese school, she can't read that. Something that her family is proud of, and Noelle can't appreciate it. Here's our train. We should reach the night market in a few stops. I hate taking public transit. The trains are always filthy and poorly maintained. As they board the MRT carriage, Noelle steels herself for the stench of vomit, urine, and cigarettes she's grown to expect from American subways. Unfortunately, I can attest to that assessment. But to her amazement, the car's shiny floors and seats look so squeaky clean you could eat off of them. I would not recommend it, though. It's absolutely spotless. Pleasantly surprised, she sits beside her parents in a gleaming plastic seat. Shipai Station. Can't actually clearly hear what they're saying. It's that indistinct mumbling like on fart. Yep. There's usually, the ones I've been on, there's usually some sort of sign indicating which station you're approaching. An LCD screen right across from her neatly displays the names of the previous, current, and next stations. Yeah, we definitely have that, but I don't think it's LCD screens. It could have changed since I last rode one, because it's been a few years. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Her phone buzzes. Her heart leaps when she sees that it's a Karsha. Why did you send this? I thought you liked me. Even if I hypothetically did like you, why would I want to see this awful picture of you? Personally, I think it's very hot and sexy of me to play video games against little kids that fries electronics and lose. Is that what you're doing? Nah, I'm back home now playing the game I bought. It's called Portal. Dude, you'd love it. I don't play computer games. No, you'd love it, trust me. It's not like other games where you're some guy shooting stuff. You're a girl and it's a puzzle game. It's in a science research facility. Oh? I'll give you the CD. Just play it. I'll consider it after I return from my trip. Oh yeah, you're in Taiwan. What are you up to right now? I'm riding the subway with my parents. How is that? I hope they aren't giving you a hard time. Actually, ever since we've arrived in Taipei, they've been in good spirits. I've never seen my mother so relaxed before. She must be happy to be back home to see her family. Oh, dang. That's good. We're on our way to the night market right now. I feel paranoid that everyone can tell I'm a foreigner. LOL, I get what you mean. When I'm in India, they can tell I'm American before I even open my mouth. Just from the way I carry myself. Her mom sighs as Noelle taps out her response on her phone. There you are, addicted to your phone. How am I addicted compared to other teenagers? I barely use it. You spend so much time talking to your friends. But friendships are only temporary. As soon as it's inconvenient, they'll all disappear. After I moved to America for your future, not a single one kept in touch with me. The only people you can trust is your family, and I was so far away from all of mine. The life of an immigrant is a lonely one. Is she hoping I'm going to console her, or thank her for making such a brutal sacrifice for my sake? It was her own decision as a full-grown adult to move here. It wasn't up to me. Her mom sighs heavily and stares out the window. There's a message she's always trying to impart on me. I'm lonely because of you. Noelle watches the scenery fly by. After half an hour, the train arrives at their destination precisely on time. Let's look for clothes. You need new ones. But I have plenty of clothes already. They all have holes in them. You should just throw them away already. Noelle browses through a sea of clothing racks with her parents. A hideous pair of beige pants catches her eye. This will complement many items in my wardrobe. She turns it over in her hand, searching for its price tag, but it's missing. I'm going to ask how much these trousers are. Do you know how? Are you serious? Of course I know how. Maybe she marches up to the stall's cashier and shows her the pants. Like I ask how much are these pants? 200 NTD. That's only about $7. What a bargain. I want to buy this. What'd you say? I stumbled over the pronunciation. I want to buy this. Okay. Shame Noelle doesn't dare speak another word as the cashier bags her purchase. Excellent. Simply superb. After 6 years of Chinese school, I still can't speak, read, or write Mandarin. She finds her way back to her parents who are just finishing up their purchase at the neighboring stall. I'm hungry. Let's get dinner at the food court. What for? There's food stalls all over the place. We can just eat as we shop. No, I want to properly sit down somewhere and have a meal. Noelle follows her parents down the flight upstairs to the underground food court. It's a bizarre space that reminds Noelle of a mirror maze. Wow, look at that. They sit down at a stall and Noelle scans the menu, which is conveniently printed directly on the surface of the table. Something chicken, something soup. Noelle has to pick her dish based on the pictures like a toddler would. Do you know what you're getting? I will order the oyster omelet. It's seldom seen in America, so I should take the chance to eat it here. As the stall worker comes over and takes her parents' orders, Noelle mentally recites hers, determined not to be rendered an inarticulate child again. I know this. This is kindergarten level vocabulary. I want oyster omelet. That sounds a tad crude, though. In English, I'd normally say something more like, I'd like to have the oyster omelet. What do you want to order? I want oyster omelet. The woman jots her order down on a pad of paper, nodding. Are you American-born Chinese? Huh? My Chinese was that bad? I am. I could tell, I guess, from your accent. So heavy. Noelle's mom sighs as the woman walks out to prepare their meals. All those years of Chinese school, wasted. At least she knows some Chinese. Their food arrives within minutes. Noelle tries a gooey spoonful of her oyster omelet. It's delicious. You would never guess this only cost $3. Really? Let me try. My parents each taste a spoonful of the oyster omelet and shrug, unimpressed. This is below average. I've had way better ones around here before. Yeah, this isn't really what it's supposed to taste like. Well, I'm never here, so I couldn't have known that. Annoyed now, Noelle takes another bite of the oyster omelet. This is the best thing I've ever eaten. I should find out what this place is called so I can find it again. She looks up at the name of the stall, but it's in Chinese. Can't read it. I better savor it while it lasts. This omelet I can only taste once. All too soon it's over. Noelle sighs as they get up to continue shopping. You should have tried harder to convince me to learn Chinese. Are you serious? We told you not to quit so many times. But you never properly explained why it was so important not to. All you did was give me condescending lectures about how I was too young to understand why it mattered and how it'd be an embarrassment if I didn't learn. English is our second language. It's hard to explain things to you. And it's true, you are an embarrassment. Last week I saw our neighbor's son Michael moving the lawn and he greeted me in Chinese. Hello, Auntie. See, that's what happens when you listen to your parents. Michael goes to Taiwan with his family every summer. That's the reason he's more fluent, not because he was a superior child to me. Why didn't we just visit Taiwan more often when I was younger? That alone would have made me more interested in learning. I feel like I've been trying to understand Chinese culture by looking at it through a soda straw until now. You think we didn't want to visit Taiwan more too? The airplane tickets are expensive. We have to save up for years just for one trip. Oh, but even so, you should have done more to show me that speaking Mandarin could be a positive experience. Why do you always speak to me in English even though you can't fully express yourselves in that language? If you conversed with me in Chinese from a young age, I would have naturally picked it up from daily use. We thought you'd have an accent if we did that. We were worried you wouldn't fit in at school. But that's ridiculous. There's no way I would have developed an accent when everyone else I interacted with spoke English. I would have grown up bilingual without any ill effects. Resigned, her dad shrugs. Well, too late now. What can you do? That's fair. The last day of the trip. Noelle and her relatives visit the columbarium housing Amma's ashes. My mom visits this place every time she's in Taiwan. Noelle follows her grandpa into the worship hall. I crossed an ocean to see my grandpa, and I've barely spoken a word to him. It's not out of lack of interest. He must have lived a fascinating life. He's the only grandparent I have left. And I was wondering about her other grandparents. But how do you gain access to the heart of a stranger? Where do you even begin? Tell me about yourself? Who says that to their own grandfather? It would sound like a job interview. Even if I knew what I wanted to say, what am I capable of saying in Chinese? Today is Sunday? I'm a student? She watches Chunhua take a lotus petal from a glass bowl and offer it to the giant Buddhas. Well, we're going to pray for Amma. Take a flower petal from that bowl over there. Can I pray in English? If you have to. Unsure what she's supposed to do, Noelle does her best to imitate her parents. Hello, Buddha. I seriously doubt that you exist. But I'm sure Amma was a wonderful woman. Chunhua deposits her lotus petal in the bowl before the Buddhas, her eyes shining with tears. I miss Amma. To Noelle's surprise, her aunt embraces Chunhua like it's the most natural thing in the world. They're so comfortable with each other. Is that how mothers and daughters are supposed to be? That's how parents and kids should be. But not always. When I look at my mother, the first emotion I feel is stress. Noelle deposits her lotus petal in the bowl and joins Agang, who's waiting to the side. He smiles awkwardly at her as they stand together in silence. What should I do? Try to build a relationship in broken Mandarin? Tell him I like reading and my favorite color is green? Or let the moment pass me by? Say nothing and remain strangers? Am I a terrible person if that's what I do? Come on, we're going upstairs. After an elevator ride, they arrive at the floor, housing her grandma's ashes. Amma's over here. Noelle follows everyone else down the hall to one of the niches. The only thing distinguishing it from the others is a tiny name tag on the door. Not that I can read it. Even if I could, I don't know the names of any of my relatives. And at this point, I'm too embarrassed to ask. Even Chunhua's name I only know by sound. I have no idea what it looks like. Noelle's dad points to the units beside Amma's. Your mom and I bought our spots, too. Already? You're only in your 50s. There's a limited number, so we made sure to reserve them before they were all gone. I suppose my parents are fairly old. They didn't manage to have me until their 40s. That is kind of old to have kids. But you never know when someone's going to leave. You never know how old they're going to be. So cherish what time you have with them. Going off the average American life expectancy, they probably have around 25 years left. Noelle's mom wipes her eyes as they open the little door of Amma's unit. Will I cry when my mother dies someday? I'm starting to seriously worry that I won't. What kind of monster does that make me? It doesn't make you a monster, it just means you don't have a good relationship with your mother. What kind of cold, heartless person cares so little about her own parents? Is there something wrong with me? Do I just not form emotional bonds as deeply as ordinary people do? Oh, Noelle. When they get back to Agong's apartment, Noelle and her mom begin packing to leave. Are you all flying back tonight? Actually, my dad will be in Taiwan for another week, attending to business matters. So my mother and I are flying back alone. Ah, 1 week was too short. As Noelle fits the last of her clothes into the roller bag, Chunhua takes a seat, pulling a thick tome out of her backpack. Noelle feels a twinge of sadness as she watches her cousin read her huge, academic-looking book. If I'd grown up in Taiwan, we probably would have become close. Suddenly a strange thought occurs to Noelle. If I'd grown up here, would my personality been shaped into something more similar to Chunhua's? That's a good question. It's a whole matter of nature versus nurture. Her parents' relationship with her might have been different had they grown up in Taiwan, but I don't think she would have turned out exactly like Chunhua. How much of my personality is just a product of being raised by an immigrant helicopter mother with no friends or family around to balance her out? Would my mother and I have gotten along? The magazine Chunhua showed Noelle earlier is still out on the coffee table, taunting her. I'm finished packing, so I have time to kill before we leave for the airport. Maybe I can translate the poem my mother wrote? Noelle digs her emergency Chinese to English dictionary out of her backpack. It's being a petulant baby in elementary school. All I have to do is persevere and power through learning the language properly this time. Simply look up each word I don't know and burn its pronunciation and meaning into my memory. Unfortunately, she doesn't know a single word in the poem's first line. Just by 15 minutes pounding 7 words into her memory, her enthusiasm evaporates. This is actually incredibly difficult. I'm not surprised I have nothing to show for my 6 years of Chinese school. It feels like the knowledge is just washing over my brain like water over plastic. Is my brain just not wired for this? Not anymore. Could it be genetic? Even after living the majority of their lives in America, my parents haven't mastered English either. It takes her another 15 minutes for her to finally overcome the first line of the poem. At last, onto the second line. And I already know all these words. Mirror, flower, water, moon. It's total gibberish. Is it supposed to sound poetic mushed together like that? Mirror, flower, water, moon. Belle feels the urge to tear the magazine to shreds. Perhaps noticing her hands quaking with suppressed rage, Chunhua peers over Noelle's shoulder to see what she's reading. What's wrong? Nothing, I'm just translating one of my mom's poems. Why don't you ask your mom for help? I'd rather die. Oh, okay. Maybe I can help instead? Where are you stuck? What's this supposed to mean? Oh, that's how do you call it? A saying, like the lesson of a story. It's short for flower in the mirror, moon in the water. Pretty much, it means something that you can see but never grasp. Like the flower reflected in a mirror or the moon shining on the water's surface? Yes, you can't reach your hand through the mirror and take the flower out. It's impossible. You can only look, never have it. I see. So mirror, flower, water, moon is shorthand for something beautiful but unattainable. Pretty much. Dai cheers at as Noelle's mom manages to zip her bulging suitcase closed. Ready to go to the airport? Let's go. Noelle gives the half-translated poem one last despairing look before flipping the magazine shut. Is that what I've been chasing after this whole time? A flower in the mirror? If only I get straight A's, I'll have a normal relationship with my parents. If only I land a summer internship, I'll have a normal relationship with my parents. If only I become fluent in Chinese, I'll have a normal relationship with my parents. What if it was never possible from the start, no matter what I did? That evening, Noelle and her mom make landfall in California. Instead of driving home from the airport, they take the BART back. This is Northern California, so I have no idea what BART stands for. Noelle wrinkles her nose as she inhales the stench of vomit, urine, and cigarettes. Dad's car is parked at the airport garage. Why not just drive it home? We wouldn't be able to get gas. It's not safe for a woman to pump gas. It's so easy for a criminal to grab you and drive away. We live in one of the safest suburbs in the entire U.S. Is that why she always has my dad pump the gas? Besides, I can't read fast enough. When you're driving on the freeway, the signs pass by so quickly. Noelle reluctantly sits down on a filthy, worn seat with a suspicious brown stain on it. The conductor mumbles something unintelligible over the intercom as the train stops at a station. 6 Miss. Breathless man enters the train car just in time before the doors shut. His eyes frantically scour its interior. Does this train go to Berkeley? It does not. This is a Fremont train. Shit, I need to get off at the next station. As the train continues onward, Noelle notices a puddle of liquid traveling down the floor. What is that? Did someone spill their drink? Ah! Fucking nasty! That bitch peed in her seat! What? Disgusted, Noelle recoils and keeps her feet as far as possible from the pee spraying down the floor. So fucking gross! Fucking bitch! Biohazard, please evacuate at the next station. What's he saying? The urine is a biohazard. We need to get off the train at the next station. Once the doors open, Noelle and her mom hastily drag their luggage off the train and onto the concrete platform. Oh, that's gotta suck. Maybe we should have driven after all. I didn't know BART was like this. There's still several stops from our destination. Noelle and her mom wait on a bench for the next train home. 9-car train to Fremont in 6 minutes. Our next train will arrive in 6 minutes. Okay. Good thing I was here with you, or else I wouldn't know what train to take. Exhausted, Noelle stares at the dark line of trees ahead of them. It's cold. Why are we here? Because the hobo lady peed on the floor? That's not what I mean. Why did you move from Taiwan to America? To give you more opportunities. That doesn't make any sense. Taiwan is superior to the US by every conceivable metric, and it's not even close. Taiwan has socialized healthcare, more robust public infrastructure, and one of the lowest poverty rates in the world. Americans live shorter lives. Even worse, they're not as good at math and science. Taiwan was different in the past. All you see is Taiwan now, but it didn't used to be this way. And America was strong. We were scared China was going to invade Taiwan. But they didn't. And all this time we've lived in America and nothing's happened. That's true, but it could have happened. But the plain truth is that it didn't. You could have just stayed put. I could have grown up in Taiwan like Chunhua and the rest of my cousins and everything would have been fine. But we didn't know that. You think we had a crystal ball telling us the future? Wells' mom perks up as the train screeches to a stop at the platform. Fruitvale, Dublin, Pleasanton train. Is this our train? No, it's not. Noel's mom settles glumly back on the bench. You know how Chunhua wants to study in America? Yes. I told her not to do it. It's not worth it. I didn't realize how hard it would be. You'll be far from everyone you know, and your kids won't understand what you're talking about. You can't communicate with them. I didn't know that if you have kids in America, your kids will be American. That's harsh. That wasn't obvious to you? No. The next day. That's rough. But we do get some insight as to how this has affected her mother, so I like that. Noah waits with her friends for the baseball club meeting to begin. How was Taiwan? It was amazing. The subway system is so punctual and efficient, and the signage was so clear. If you ever visit DA, you don't have to be afraid of getting lost or not hearing the announcements like you do on BART. Everyone there meticulously organizes the recyclables, too. If people fail to sort their materials properly, the government will fine them up to $200. Wait, they do that in Korea, too. Interesting. Perhaps Korea is more similar to Taiwan than I thought. I bet Korea did it first, and then Taiwan just stole it. What makes you think that? Dia listens with a small smile as Noelle continues extolling the virtues of Taipei's trash collecting system instead of describing any of the landmarks she visited. That is so Noelle. I love it. You must have liked it there. You're right, I did. What do you call it when you're grateful for the things your parents have done for you, but at the same time you feel like they made critical mistakes that'll probably affect you forever? Isn't that just life? Oh, I suppose it is. Damn it, my shoelaces keep coming undone. Noelle glances to her left where Karsha is crouched over tying her sneaker laces. Why have you tied your shoelaces like that? This is the Silicon Valley, Frenchman, the land of innovation. Did you get me any souvenirs on your trip? No. Meanie! I didn't get anyone anything. We had limited luggage space. All we brought back were snacks that can't be found here and dubious beauty products my mom wanted. Dubious beauty products? Like what? Nail clippers with bombs in them? Why would there be nail clippers with bombs with them? All I meant was products with questionable value like skin whitening cream. That is actually a thing in India. Yeah. Like there's virtue in India in having paler skin. And that's... Obviously, I disagree with that. Not just because I have pale skin anyway, and I would love to actually have darker skin. At least somewhat, so I don't burn so easily. But it's just, there is no virtue in skin color at all. Wait, skin whitening cream? Like, to make your skin lighter? Yes, Chinese beauty standards are all kinds of messed up. It's been ingrained very deeply into people's minds that the lighter your skin is, the better. That's just like in India. Yeah, oh my god, I thought it was just a brown thing. I have a friend from India, and she's brown. Brown to Karsha or Dia's skin tone. And she's very grateful that her mom didn't buy into that whole whiter skin thing. You guys have colorism too? Oh, is it similar in your culture? It's a whole thing. You have no idea. I would argue I do have an idea. My mother even tells me not to spend time outside to avoid getting a tan. Oh, my mom does that too. They have those dumb as fuck skin creams in Korea too. It's the same. It's the same. Yellow and brown parents, they match just like pee and poo. Karsha! Why are you like this? What the fuck, man? Karsha. Have you ever considered not speaking? How mean? The second I open my mouth, you'll jump to slap my balls. Do you have... Do you have to word it like that? I'm trying to use more phrases with the word balls in it in my normal conversations. Why? I don't know, I just think it'll add more flavor. Death Bagels assemble! The Death Bagels gather around Krissa and Liz as they begin the meeting. So we've got good news and bad news. Good news, we have a game today. Bad news is just the Niles baseball team again. They're the only ones who would play us again. That's not surprising. We either win by pulling some weird shenanigans or lose so badly we get mercied. There's no in between. So most teams we play aren't exactly eager for a rematch. We had to swear up and down you guys would be normal this time. So y'all better not be weird. Alright, we yakusoku. What? That's how you say promise in Nigono, aka Japanese. Is everyone ready to go? The other team got here early. Death Bagels walk over to the field where the killer whales are already warming up. Thanks for being willing to play us again, guys. No problem. Time for our revenge. Yeah, right. We destroyed you guys last time. Well, that was before a secret weapon joined the team. Secret weapon? We got a new guy who's pretty good. Oh yeah? Where is he? Junseo and Hayden look around amongst their teammates, but as the seconds pass, their faces grow more and more alarmed. I'm actually not sure. Maybe he got lost on his way driving here? Yeah, that seems typical of him. Yeah, it's fine. We can wait a few minutes for him to show up. 20 minutes later, no one came. He's decidedly late at this point. I can't believe this. Where the heck could he be? Did you try calling him? He didn't pick up. Well, it's not like he can answer the phone if he's driving. You guys are pathetic, making up some guy to blame your loss on. We're not making him up. He's real. And we didn't lose yet? Stop jumping to conclusions. It's okay. Is it okay if we start playing without him? If he turns up later, he can join the game then. Yeah, sure. As the killer whales file into the dugout, Noelle starts checking to her spot in right field. She scowls disdainfully at a barren patch of grass as she passes it. Crystal likes pointing to that tiny patch of going, I'll defend that area so you go to the rest of the field, okay? I hope that grass grows back soon so I don't have to keep hearing that joke. Hey, wait! No, you're playing second base today. I am? Why? Yeah, why? She ducks and covers whenever the ball comes her way. That's exactly why she needs to do it. I'm taking AP Psych and I found out there's something called exposure therapy. It's where you make someone do something they're afraid of until they stop whining and get used to it. That doesn't sound like the textbook definition to me. Krista, then how come we went on that demon ride at Great America you had your eyes closed the whole time? That was before I knew what exposure therapy was. Uh-huh. Wait, but I was second base. What happens to me then? You're playing left field now because you run fast. We're moving a whole bunch of people around, not just you two. Krista thinks she's a mega mind master now because of AP Psychology. Hey, I never said that. Noelle begins trekking to second base. I do feel a bit better equipped to man second base now than I did when I was first roped into this club. I don't like to appear underinformed, so a bit after her first game I read the baseball rulebook from cover to cover. She would. Still, I really hope no one hits the ball my way. To her surprise, the crusher is already standing by second base. Bonjour. Why are you here? I'm the shortstop. I'm supposed to be here. What? Aren't you supposed to be closer to third base? Says who? The diagram in the baseball rulebook. Now, the shortstop's position mirrors the second baseman's. You're supposed to work together and vary your positioning to anticipate what the batters and runner do, you know. See? Right. I knew that. So we're both covering the same base. Won't that make things unnecessarily confusing? You're like a duo. It's a good thing. Yeah, we should negotiate who does what in different situations. Alright, fine. There's actually kind of unspoken rules as to what the second baseman and shortstop do. Basically, the second baseman and shortstop cover like about halfway between first and second and third. And then they kind of split that whole area. But usually if there's going to be a play at second, the second baseman covers second. And the shortstop covers the rest of the area. How about you cover second when there's a runner on first? And field the ground balls close to us? You can also take care of the fly balls? You're just trying to get out of doing as much work as possible. The game kicks off into a relief and quickly strikes out the first batter. Good, just do that 2 more times and get to bat. Hayden digs into the batter's box next. Then throws a floater that curves up towards his head for a moment before dropping back towards the strike zone. Ah! Instead of swinging, Hayden flinches backward out of the way. Strike! What's wrong with you? Nothing, I'm just making sure I don't get hit in the mouth. I had a dream last night that my teeth were falling out. That's what you wasted your dream on? It's not like I control what I dream about. Min hurls another pitch his way, but instead of dancing like usual, it pretty much sails straight down the middle. Rag! Hayden manages to make contact and drives the ball into the grass. Bounces into the air, and for one singularly terrifying moment, Noelle sees it coming straight at her. Egad, I hate ground balls. Noelle covers her face with one arm and half-heartedly attempts to catch the ball with the other. She braces for impact, but nothing hits her. On the mound, Min manages to intercept the ball by catching it behind her back without looking at it. Whoa! Even Min herself looks shocked she caught it. Just because it's cool doesn't mean he's out. Throw it to first. Min hastily lobs the ball to Liz. It just barely beats Hayden to first base. Out! Aw, man. That was close. As Hayden heads back to the dugout in defeat, there's a distant shout. Sorry I'm late. Some guy is sprinting down the hill to the killer whales at top speed. Sorry. Suban! Where were you? The killer whale player sighs despondently as he joins his teammates. I was driving over when all of a sudden a spider crawled up my leg. So obviously I crashed the car. Obviously? Are you okay? Don't worry, I'm fine. I just knocked a street sign over. Isn't that a crime? How big was the spider? Like this big. He pinches his thumb and index finger together to demonstrate. So small. But it was all hairy. So practically speaking, it's equivalent to a spider twice as big. Even if it was twice as big, isn't crashing kind of an overreaction? No? Whatever, just get up to bat already. It's your turn. This guy seems like a coward. Wonder what makes him their secret weapon. Suban digs in behind home plate. He's standing on the other side of the plate. He must be left-handed. Min hurls her next pitch and the batter shifts into a bunting stance at the last second. So he either is a switch hitter or left-handed. He's not even going to try to hit it. He starts to run towards first base as the ball glances off his bat, sending the baseball bouncing towards Liz. She's forced to rush forward to field it, leaving first base unmanned. I got it! By the time she scooped the ball out, Suban is well on his way to first base. He's fast. France! Frenchman! Oh, I need to cover first base since Liz isn't there. The old lady runs first base so Liz can throw the ball to her, but Suban beats her there. The killer whales cheer as Suban overruns the base. Yeah! Sub-Zero! Sub-Zero? That's me. They call me Sub-Zero because I'm so cool. Huh? No fair. I want a badass nickname too. Oh, please. Like what? Like Sub-Zero. You're just going to copy him? Saya shakes her head as Sub-Zero basks under his teammates' praise. Shh. Who the heck bunts to get on base? I mean, if you're fast, it's doable. Lefties have a huge advantage when bunting too because they're already 2 steps ahead of where righty batters are when they lay down the bunt. That's so cheap. Well, that's the essence of baseball, no? Cheating and being cheap. I thought the essence of baseball was friendship and teamwork. Oh yes, that too. June Sale is up to bat next. He swings the pitch. The knuckleball suddenly swerves outward as if sensing the bat, dodging it entirely. Ugh. Dia misses the ball by a mile too. She rips her mask off and chases after it. Yeah! Sub-Zero takes off running towards second base. He's taking the chance to steal. I need to tag him out. Dia secures the ball and throws it to Akarsha. Got it! Never mind, looks like Akarsha's supposed to cover second base here. Sub-Zero skids to a halt halfway between the bases. Oh no! Because it was his choice to run, we need to actually tag him with the ball. Akarsha charges towards him and Sub-Zero turns around and flees back toward first base. Throw it to me! Hurrah! Akarsha lost the ball over and Liz tags him out. No! Nice one, Akarsha. Akarsha? Who's that? You? I don't know what you're talking about. My name is Sub-Zero. No, it's not. The team switch sides. As Noelle crosses the field, she's struck with a peculiar awareness of where she is. Barely a day ago, I was on the opposite side of the planet. I was in Taiwan when the garbage truck sing Beethoven's for release while collecting the trash. Oh my gosh, really? Do they really do that? I wonder. And now I'm here playing baseball. I'm wearing a low cap, sweating, and running on grass. Why am I here? It's a mistake that I'm here. Oh, Noelle. I did not expect an identity crisis, but here we are. Hello, Earth's Frenchman? What? You didn't hear a thing I said, huh? My apologies, what was it? I said it's hot as balls out here. Not this again. So what were you so lost in thought about? Nothing really. It's just strange knowing I would have led a completely different life if my parents had stayed in Taiwan. I'm sorry, my throat is really dry. I would have been someone who's close to her family, someone who wasn't ignorant of her own culture. Maybe I would have been a better person. Aw, I like you the way you are, though. Oh, Akarsha! And if your parents didn't move, we would never have met. Of course, because obviously that makes up for everything. Akarsha grins and the inside of Noelle's palm prickles. This is so peculiar. This is what extreme anger feels like, but right now I'm only pretending to be annoyed for comedic effect. It's not anger, you dumb shit. Oh my gosh, she's so smart and yet so stupid. They deserve each other. The sensation is so unbearable, she wants to scratch at it until it goes away. I mean, you went there on vacation, you're probably looking at it through rose-colored glasses. They probably have tons of struggles over there that you're clueless about. Even so, the standard of living there is on an entirely different level. This is backed up by actual statistics, not just my personal opinions. I don't know, man. It's not good to dwell too long in self-pity, or else we get lost in the sauce. The sauce? What sauce? It's a metaphor for being out of touch with reality. But I like to imagine barbecue sauce. The rest of the Death Bagels cheer as Dia bats Krista in. Oh, they're not just walking Dia like last team? I told June I'd shave his hair off and sleep if he did that again, because it's not fun for Dia. Who's up next? Me, time to unveil my special technique. Wait, she better not be trying that getting hit on purpose thing again. That actually is not kosher. I think I mentioned this before. But trying to deliberately get hit, if you're very obvious about it, you can get in trouble for that. If you're subtle about it, then you'll get by. But you're not supposed to try to get hit. You're supposed to try to hit the ball. Oblivious, Junseo throws a fastball to Akarsha. Akarsha leans into the pitch, causing the ball to bounce off her elbow guard. Ha ha ha, free walk to first base. Huh? You can't do that on purpose. The guy on the now team who's serving as her umpire pages through his rule book lost. Does it say that in the rules? Actually, it's not relevant whether Akarsha caused the ball to hit her or not. For Rule 2, Section 40 of the NFHS rulebook, there's no distinction between the act of touching or by being touched. Seriously? Thank you, baseball lawyer. Mwah. Actually, just last time Rule 734 was added saying that the batter shall not permit a pitch ball to touch him. But it's not really my job to remind them to update the rulebook. But that's still not fair. You may not like it, but that's what peak baseball looks like. Even Major League Baseball logo is a guy getting hit by the pitch. What? What are you talking about? It's a guy swinging at the ball. No, really, picture it. The ball is too high up, and look how close to him it is. It's too late, there's no way he's going to be able to hit it in time. It's a guy who's about to get beamed. No way. She's right, it really is a guy about to get hit. I rest my case. Akarsha jogs to first base, victorious. Alright, I'm up next. There's already 2 outs, I better not strike out. On the bright side, Dia and Akarsha are both on base. If I could somehow hit this, we could end this inning with a massive lead. Noelle swiftly strikes out, missing by a mile with each swing. Drat, I blew it. There. Did you try? Yes. But did you fail? Also yes. Wait, I think I said those in the wrong order. Forget the order, why mention me failing at all? The team switched sides. As Noelle crosses to second base, she crosses past with Dia on her way to the catcher's box. Dia, do you have any tips for hitting the ball? Dia considers it for a moment. It's easier to hit the top of the ball than the bottom. Bad for hitting home runs, but you'll strike out less. Dia, at this point, I'd be thrilled to hit any of the ball. You think I can differentiate between the top and bottom halves? Dia appears not to have heard Noelle's response and has walked away. Thanks, I guess. Dia has trouble hearing from her left ear. The Killer Whales cheer as a batter hits a grand slam off one of Min's pitches. Woohoo! We're tied now! Eat shit and die! Min strikes the next 2 batters out in quick succession, but the third gets a solid hit. Maybe I can catch this. Noelle leaps for the ball, but it flies over her head and bounces into center field. Got it! Krista feels the ball, then tosses it back to Noelle. I need to throw this to first base. Noelle throws the ball with all her might. It pops almost straight into the ground and begins rolling away. Liz leaves first base to grab the ball. By this point, the runner is approaching second base. It's another pickle. Liz and Akarsha need to box him in again. Akarsha! Who? She's not cooperating because she wants to be called Sub-Zero. Boy. Let's see. I have a 4-sided dice. I need to find it. Oh, there's one. Okay. So 4-sided dice, 2 options. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cute. Don't call her Sub-Zero. Akarsha, you vile creature! I wonder who this Akarsha you keep referring to is. Liz throws the ball to Akarsha, but she pretends not to see it and lets it land on the ground. Really? Shit! I mean, shoot! Noelle ropes to grab the ball instead, but the runner is already long gone. She shrieks at Akarsha as he crosses home plate. They scored because of you! Because of me, or because you were a big meanie and didn't compromise like a good teammate? Really makes you think. No, it doesn't. Thanks to Akarsha's antics, the Death Bagels enter the bottom of the final innings 1 run behind the Killer Whales. We need to get at least 1 more run, or we'll lose. Unfortunately, Saida and Krista rack up 2 outs right off the bat. Gomenasori Dayasama, your only hope. After letting 2 balls go, Dia swings at a fastball. She drives the ball into right field and everyone holds their breath as it rockets towards the fence. It smashes into the middle of the fence just a couple feet too low to clear it. Too bad it wasn't a home run. Too bad I'm about to beat the shit out of you. Kidding, Dia did great. Dia sprints around the diamond and slides into second base, just barely beating the throw. Safe! Akarsha cracks her knuckles as she gets up from the bench. Time to use my special technique. Wait, are you going to get yourself hit by the pitch again? Yeah! Back when I was in Little League, I saw a batter get beamed in the face. Krista, do you remember? He was on your team. Huh? Oh, yeah, that was so scary. He collapsed and was just lying motionless on the ground for a while. It looked like he was dead. Poor kid had to be carried off in a stretcher. I think it knocked out one of his teeth, right? Yep. Actually, maybe he even have died for real later. Maybe? Anyway, you tried to get hit on purpose, just reminded me of that. Okay. This must be a new scare tactic they're trying. Plus, this is our only real chance to bring Dia home. We have 2 outs, and Noelle will probably strike out at her at bat. No offense, Noelle. None taken. So getting walked here would just delay the inevitable. You should try to create an opportunity for Dia to run. So I gotta actually hit the ball? Aw, man. No pressure if you can't manage it, but do your best. So say no more. I'm going serious mode. As the Akarsha walks up to the plate, she tosses her bat in the air, spins around, and tries to catch it behind her back. She doesn't spin around fast enough, so the bat just climbs to the ground. Akarsha picks the bat back up and points at Junseo. Your fans can't wait for my pee. What is that even supposed to mean? Really, Akarsha? She's trying to confuse you. Don't let it get to you. Disturbed Junseo quickly pitches to Akarsha. Akarsha whiffs it for a strike. Whoopsie! We're all going to be haunted by that pee comment now. It didn't even work! The team holds a collective breath as Junseo lets his next pitch fly. Akarsha smacks it into foul territory. Strike 2. You waste you a double, I'll hit you! Kirsten taps the sign she and Liz taped to the dugout's fence. No hitting allowed. Ha! Then I'll scream really loud in your ear, so it destroys your eardrum. Liz taps the second sign they taped to the fence. No screaming aloud either. God damn it. Junseo winds up again. In the meantime, Akarsha has gone suspiciously quiet. Akarsha leans in so she gets hit by the pitch again. Not again. Great going, you just lost us the game. Yeah! Akarsha races for first base like her life depends on it. Guys, why is she running? Tag her if she tries to steal second. Hitting quickly throws the ball to Subhan, the first baseman. Akarsha hastily stops in her tracks. Uh-oh. Come back here. Akarsha turns and scrambles back the way she can with Subhan at her heels. What is she doing? There's no benefit to her retreating all the way back home. As Akarsha nears home, Subhan rolls the ball back to Hayden, who lunges forward to tag her. They panicked and forgotten the basic rules of baseball. All they have to do is tag first base for a force out. Can they do it? She was hit by the pitch. She's entitled to first base. Good point. Guys, don't forget Dia's running too. Huh? Dia slides home in the confusion. Yeah! Finn runs over to home base and starts furiously kissing Diaz. Hayden chases Akarsha back towards first. Get off the playing field! You can celebrate later! The run won't even count if Akarsha is the third out before making it to first base. If they can even tag her out, I'm not sure anymore. She's trying to weasel past Supan. Akarsha trips on her own shoelaces and collides with him. Ah! Akarsha bangs her head and Supan's knee on her way down. Oh my god! Akarsha! Without thinking, she runs over to where Akarsha is lying motionless on the ground. Akarsha, are you alright? Akarsha doesn't respond. Coming from Akarsha, the silence is 1,000 times scarier than if she'd been screaming. Absolutely. Please be alright. Her voice comes out all choked and funny, and Noelle realizes with horror that she's crying. The world would be an awful place without you. Ow! Dazed, Akarsha slowly begins to sit up. Noelle is so relieved that she tearfully pulls Akarsha into a hug for a moment before a mixture of other emotions catch up with her. Wait, what am I doing? Her heart pounding, Noelle hastily shoves Akarsha away, sending her crashing back to the ground. What? That's ours! You scared me! Don't ever do that again! Noelle frantically wipes her tears away as Akarsha wobbles back to her feet. Soon the others have gathered around her in concern. You okay? Yeah, just woozy. What year is it? 1834? Just kidding, 2009. How can you be cracking jokes right now? Can you tell me what happened? I got myself into a big old trip and he said. Okay, good. Ask her if she feels nauseous. Do you feel nauseous? Nah. As they run through a series of tests for concussion, Chris and Liz relax a bit. You seem fine. It's good that you can remember what happened and walk. You look like you lost consciousness for a second there, though. I was so knocked out. I was thinking the whole time. Huh? I was just stunned because it really hurt. So you remember what I said to you? Yeah, that I'm an arse? What about before that? Before that, everyone was screaming that I fell. So chaotic, it all kind of blurred together. Why did you finally call me Sub-Zero? I most certainly did not. What relief. It would have been mortifying if she'd heard me falling to pieces over her. We should still get you checked out by an adult. Aren't you Liz technically adults now? You know what I mean. Real adults, like the school nurse. Does that mean the game's over? Yeah, sorry. We'll have to rematch you guys some other time. Wait, so did we tie? Did Diaz run count? Unfortunately, no. My understanding is that Akarsha ultimately violated Section 4 of Rule 8. She made a travesty of the game. A travesty? Such a dramatic way to put it. I love it. I'm so sorry. You can hit my head super hard, too, as payback. Like with the bat or something. Why? It wouldn't help at all. I'll do it. No one's hitting anybody in the head with the bat. Noelle, could you escort Akarsha to the nurse's office? Alright, fine. Noelle and Akarsha trudge back up the hill toward the school. Suddenly Akarsha touches her own cheek, confused. Why is my face wet? What? There's something wet on my cheek, like water. It's from when I was crying over her. That must have been someone's spit that fell on you. Huh? Ew! Man, if only I hadn't tripped, I totally would have saved the day. You should thank me for trying to save you from making us lose. Now that she mentions it, I do feel a little bit bad that she got hurt trying to help me. Actually, I'm a bit more impressed you wrangled such an improbable outcome out of a walk. I truly marvel at your creativity sometimes. What? Who are you? What did you do with Noelle? Contrary to common belief, I am in fact capable of being nice. I know, but you usually look like you're passing a really hard poo while you're doing it. Akarsha grabs Noelle's hand and vigorously shakes it up and down. Congratulations, you learned basic human decency. You should try it more often. To Noelle's dismay, she feels a strange, almost electric undercurrent of something running between their palms. Why am I so sensitive to her touch all of a sudden? I didn't used to be like this. Noelle dashes her hand free and seizes Akarsha's wrist. What? Could it be them so excited from the game? There's probably still adrenaline in my system. Let me go! War crime! War crime! It's not a war crime to grab someone's arm. Oh, the humanity. To be captivated by a court jester, a circus clown juggling 5 bowling pins. 1 week later. Oh my gosh, she's realizing it. It's finally occurring to her why this is happening. Dia literally looks up from her textbook as Akarsha takes her usual seat in front of Noelle. How's your head? Oh, I'm all good now. The nurse just told me to rest up for a few days. My parents made me see a doctor over the weekend too, and he said the same thing. That's good to hear. Wish I could have used this as an excuse to get out of the bio test today, though. At least we have the multicultural week assembly in third period. We can use it as extra time to cram. I want to watch at least some of it, though. I heard there was going to be a K-pop part. Belle's heart does a nervous little stutter as Akarsha turns all the way around in her seat to face her. Do you remember the poster that was in the nurse's office? No. What poster? It said if your hand is bigger than your face, you have cancer. That doesn't sound right. Why would that be the case? Swelling? Just to check, Noelle puts her hand over her face to compare their sizes. Akarsha slaps Noelle's hand. So Noelle smacks herself in the face. I realize that's exactly what Akarsha was hoping for. Oh my gosh. Akarsha! Akarsha folds to Noelle and chases after her. The bell rings, concludes Noelle and Akarsha's daily morning scream fest. Once they're back in their desks, Noelle glowers at the back of Akarsha's head. I can't keep my eyes off of her. It must be my body's natural defense mechanism in response to threats. If I hold her hand, I'll prevent her from doing the "why are you hitting yourself" move. And if I embrace her, she'll be completely immobilized. Yes, there are perfectly reasonable explanations for all these strange urges I'm feeling. Only Noelle would think of it this way. In third period, Noelle's teacher released the class to the gym to watch the multicultural assembly. Most of her classmates had their heads buried in their biology textbooks as they walked, desperately cramming for the impending test. Psst, pistil. The ovule-producing part of the flower. Next. Xylem. Plant tissue that moves water and stuff around. Next. What's stuff? Like stuff. You know, stuff. You know, Akarsha, I've never actually seen you study for something in earnest before. Yeah, well, I decided to actually try normally for once. I think I have too many lives and weird plots going on at the same time, and it's tiring me out. You fool, you nuisance, you liar. I want to know everything about you. I want you to tell me every thought that's ever crossed your mind. Sepal. The outer part of the flower, the green leafy part. Why am I so infatuated with her? It can't possibly be that I fancy her. No, surely not. I may have grown used to the concept of Dia dating men, but I have no intention of being in a relationship like that myself. Even now that I'm aware it's possible for two women to copulate, that changes nothing. Homosexuals can't even legally get married anymore. It seems unwise to pursue a lifestyle reliant on the mercy of a government as unreliable as our own. Akarsha gives her an odd look. Why are you glaring at me? Oh, is that how my face looked? I haven't even done anything yet. Yet? Right? You have to add the yet in there. Oof. They all walk straight into someone in the class walking ahead of them. Yeah. Oh, hi, it's you guys. Oh, hey, what's up? I posted the first chapter of my webcomic. I saw it. Every page has like 4 comments. Is that good? I have no idea how to gauge webcomic success. Esther, you're a celebrity now. Ooh, I want to see. Here, I scanned all these comic pages from my sketchbook. She rolls out her sketchbook out so Noelle, Dia, and Akarsha can read it as they walk. This is not scientifically accurate, but at least it's easier to follow than that cursed English video we made. Hey, were you really in high school if you did act in a completely incomprehensible movie with your friends? I did that in middle school. Is that Noelle? Huh? Where? Dia points at a panel showing a character crumpled on the ground. Wait a minute, is that traced from a photo of me? Yeah, but don't worry, I made sure to tweak some things. Personality is completely different from yours, and I changed her hair color to white. Why white? Is she old? No, it's because she's albino. She has red eyes, too. Okay, but what people see realize this is based on my likeness. Looks like someone already did. Sure enough, Min has left a comment on the page where albino Noelle is getting her ass kicked. LMAO, get wrecked, nerd. That's the price of knowing an artiste. Sorry, next time I'll ask for permission first. Esther, you're coming to Fanime with us, right? Yeah, I begged my parents to let me go. We should cosplay their characters to help promote the comic. What? No. The anatomy's so bad. I made a bunch of mistakes on everyone's outfits. You're famous and you're still saying that BS? You created this with your bare hands. What if it's not perfect? You're God. Okay, whatever. Do what you want, but I'm wearing normal clothes. You're seriously going to be too cool for anime while attending an anime convention? It's not like you can wander in by accident. I call dibs on Stella Luna. Then I get Kagami Izuna. Wait, I want to be Kagami Izuna. Noelle hangs back with Dia as the others argue, trying to process the confusing tangle of feelings about not being the center of Akarsha's attention. She watches Akarsha's ridiculous gait as she walks, the one that apparently marks her as an American in India. Question. Do you ever feel like love is a choice? Like you could potentially fall in love with someone? You're not in love with them, but if you want to feel that way, you could. If you ignore it, it'll pass eventually. Isn't that just regular love? No, I'm not talking about regular love like what you and Min experience. There's no preventing that. The two of you were drawn together with the force of a freight train. But this isn't like that. This is more comparable to someone reaching a fork in a road. Because I can obviously control my emotions, especially ones that aren't useful to me. I'm not a wild animal. Even if you could control your emotions, why don't you think they're useful? Because they would derail my entire life. There's insufficient evidence to suggest the subject in question would reciprocate my feelings, so perhaps this is putting the cart before the horse. But in the unlikely event that things actually did work out between us, it would be extremely inconvenient for my plans. What plans? You know, just the default ones. Essentially to secure a respectable job, marry a similarly successful man, and spawn 2 well-behaved children in the suburbs before I'm 30. I'd be throwing away my prospects of leading a normal life just for the pleasure of being tormented by a silly little clown every day. Dia gives her an odd look. She looks like she's struggling to piece together a very complicated puzzle. What? Nothing. If the person doesn't fit your goal, shouldn't you update the goal? I can't. It's the only outcome my parents see as acceptable. If I don't adhere to it, they'll badger me day and night. They'll never let me hear the end of it. Don't they already do that anyway? Oh. Yes, they do. You're right. No matter what I do, they'll always find some new issue to latch onto. Why am I so desperate for the approval of 2 people whose opinions I don't even respect? I wish I could rewire my brain to only crave approval from people I hold in high esteem. Like me? You would be included, yes. Then I want you to adopt 1,000 dogs and start exercising. 1,000? But you can read some books too, as a treat. Your manner of discussing this makes me sound like your pet hamster. I wonder if he is just trying to figure out who Noelle meant. I mean, it's obvious to us, not just because we're reading from Noelle's perspective, but silly little gesture, who else could it be? Noelle follows her class into the rafters. Dia, over here! Min worms her way over to them through the crowd. Escaped from my class. Escaped? Are they going to come looking for you? Nah, I lost them. You better have. I'd rather not get caught harboring a fugitive. Did it hurt when you were born with that huge stick up your ass? And I'm going to dignify that with a response. What the hell is this anyway? Multicultural week? Yeah, that. None of the other schools I went to did this. I launched at samosas and Cold Stone cupcakes. What? For free? No, you buy them. All the clubs sell something to fundraise. I heard there's also musubis. What's the baseball club selling? Curry pizza, I think. Akarsha takes a seat at the end of the row against the wall. Min begins to sit down next to her. Suddenly Dia grabs Min by the shoulders, turns her around to face her and kisses her full on the mouth. What brought this on? Hot damn, get a room! Baffled, Noelle squeezes past him and sits in the spot Min was about to take next to Akarsha. What was that for? Not that I'm complaining. Dia whispers something to Min's ear that Noelle can't catch. What? That doesn't make sense. Are you sure? Maybe half. Tinikling is one of the most popular folk dances in the Philippines. This dance originated on an island in central Philippines. So I think Dia just whispered that Noelle has a crush on Akarsha or something like that. And that's why she didn't want Min to sit next to Akarsha. She wanted Noelle to sit there. Noelle and Akarsha continue to cram as their fellow students showcase a variety of cultural performances. Dia lets out a huge yawn and rests her head on Min's shoulder. You tired? Stayed up late studying. I'll wake you up if anything cool happens. Man, I wish I stayed up late cramming too. I'm so dead. We have the entire assembly to study. If you want to live, stop whining and start reviewing. Yes, ma'am. What part of the flower will turn into a fruit? Not the petal. It's gotta be the ovary. The ovary. Ding, ding, ding. You didn't by any chance ask that question just to make me say ovary, did you? No way. How immature do you think I am? Last period you asked me to guess what number you were thinking of, and it was 69. Well, you're the immature one for guessing it right. How am I the immature one? I guessed it because I knew you're always like this. Shut shut the fuck up. Dee is sleeping. Not anymore, she isn't. The tinkling dancers bow and run off the stage. I have trouble with this because I keep missing the second I. I keep wanting to say tinkling instead of tinkling. Now that they've reached a lull in the conversation, Noelle is hyper aware of the way the side of Karsh's thigh is pressed up against hers. Why did I have to meet you? Why do you have to be so funny and make me so happy? You've ruined everything. Next up is the Chinese dance. Chinese dance has thousands of years of history. A group of student dancers wave colorful fans to an idyllic sounding Chinese song. Do you know what the song's about? I wish I could tell you. I haven't the faintest idea. When I was younger, I was so eager to cast the Chinese part of me aside because it was difficult, and now I regret it. Hey, no judgment. I'm whitewashed too. Does it ever bother you that can't speak any Indian languages? Maybe a little. It would be cool to know. That's all? You don't feel guilty for being uncultured? Excuse you? I'm plenty cultured. Today I'm gonna eat curry pizza, destroy the sport of baseball, and even enjoy the company of a Frenchman. You know what I mean. It's not the traditional culture your ancestors experienced. Is that such a bad thing? It's different, but it's pretty cool in its own way, too. And if I really want, I can always pick up Hindi or something someday. But you've already missed the window of time when children pick up languages so much readily. I mean, just because children learn languages easier doesn't mean adults can't learn languages. It's just harder for them. Don't plenty of people learn languages later in life, though? I feel like Dia and Min have learned a ton just from teaching each other. That may be possible, but it's not optimal. Dude, whose life is optimal? You're not a robot. Just take what you can get and be happy. Easier said than done, but duly noted. Speaking of robots, did you try playing Portal? I did. What did you think? It made me motion sick. I kept having to pause because I was on the verge of throwing up. Oops, sorry. But I did enjoy the witty dialogue, and the song at the end. So you still played all of it? Yes. Even though it almost made you hurl? What choice did I have? You told me to play it. Oh, yeah, I guess that's what friends do. Oh, she still played even though it made her sick. Yeah, some people get motion sick real easy, even just from a simulator like that. Isn't Cloudhouse so hot? The sadistic artificial intelligence is trying to kill you? That's the whole appeal. She's scary in a seductive way. Like, her voice gets all low and sexy when she's insulting you. Did you hit your head again? Something's definitely not right in there. K-pop as we knew it would not exist without the woo! The K-pop dance troupe's interjection is completely drowned out by a chorus of high-pitched screams. Aw, that's cute. I'm not sure I'd characterize those banshee-like screams as cute. No, not them. Next to you. Noelle turns to see Dia sound asleep in Min's arms. Min's gazing at her like she's an angel that just fell down from heaven. It makes Noelle's skin crawl, so she quickly looks away. I'm so disgustingly in love I could barely bear to look at them. Right? It's like staring directly at the sun. All obvious. Sometimes I kind of wish that were more my style. Do you really? It's not exactly my style either. Yeah, I guess not. Noelle carefully maintains a mildly disgusted expression as she watches Akarsha read, just in case she's caught staring. If I cast this part of myself aside because it's difficult too, will I come to regret it later? Hey, do you remember the time my brother hijacked my computer and typed all this crazy stuff to you? What? It was a few months ago, after school, remember? Oh, I forgot about that. That was odd. Yes, I remember now. Why? I lied. That wasn't my brother. That was me. Okay? Karshik goes back to reading her biology textbook, though her legs now jittering up and down. So she came clean. Let's see if Noelle actually figures it out. I feel like I've just told a joke whose punchline flew straight over my head. Why would it matter that it was her and not her brother? What exactly did she say? She racks her brain. A dozen costume seniors take the floor. Thank you, K-pop. Up next we have Senior Bhangra. Bhangra was originally a folk dance from farmers in Punjab. There's Krista and Liz. I forget what that is. Wake up! Seniors, come on down. It's okay if you don't know the moves. Follow our lead. How is it okay if people don't know the moves? I guess they all try to copy the group that's learning the dance. Won't that look hopelessly unsynchronized, though? They can't possibly dance in proper unison on the fly. Why don't we see for ourselves? Let's dance! Karsha stands, yanking Noelle up with her by the arm. What? We're not seniors! Come on, no one's gonna notice. I can't focus anyway. Noelle balks as her friends weave their way into the crowd of amateur dancers. I don't dance! Come on, you don't need to be good at something to do it. They all try to copy the others, clapping and raising their arms a beat late each time. This looks like shit. On balls! Oh, balls! This is harder than I thought. Told you we look like fools. That's okay, so does everyone else. Already out of breath, Noelle looks around at the chaotic blur of Asian nerds flailing their limbs around them. It's true, this must be a group of some of the worst dancers in the world. With renewed confidence, Noelle spins in what turns out to be the completely wrong direction. Dia rears back to avoid crashing into her. To Noelle's surprise, Dia belatedly bumps into her, sending her flying into a Karsha. That almost seemed deliberate. Wah! Pardon! Karsha tries to pull back, only for Min to smack the back of her head in retaliation. Ow! What was that for? This hair is mine! Gia and Min are trying to get them. Oh my gosh, they're trying to manipulate them, and it's... wow. Huh? Noelle grabs the Karsha's hand for balance as they collide again. Isn't this fun? This is a hellhole. This is paradise. Karsha laces her fingers together and Noelle can feel it, a hairline crack racing through something foundational within her. In an utterly terrifying yet exhilarating sensation, but she doesn't let go. I have feelings for you. She whispers it as an experiment, so that it's impossible to hear over the roar of the crowd and the music. But it feels like a small, daring victory, like the first step on the moon. Like a butterfly breaking out of its chrysalis, all soft, naive, and crinkled. Maybe with 2 left feet and a few days late to the party, but alive, so alive, trying to process the blinding, beautiful, wild world she's broken her way into. What'd you say? Karsha twirls her and Noelle gives up on suppressing the giddy smile on her face. Nothing. Maybe I'll tell you later. Be that way, Burger King. That's not even the slogan. They dance and dance, all stupid and struggling and happy. There's so much pain and misery in this school. It's twisted us all into strange and flawed shapes, like butterflies born in a fool's spring. But it's the circumstances that gave us you and me, right here, right now. Kant wrote, out of the crooked timber of humanity, no straight thing was ever made. And how we long to be straight, forgetting there's beauty in the crooked things too. We'll never live the lives our parents wanted us to lead. And that's okay. Because we'll forge something brave and new instead. It won't be the same, but it'll be ours, and I won't ever let that go. This must be what that was based on. Yeah, on Dancing with the Stars for their All-Stars season, where previous competitors came back to compete again. One of the couples, Derek Huff and Shawn Johnson. Shawn was an Olympic gymnast. One of the dances they had to do was called the Knight Rider Bhangra, and basically it was a Bhangra dance to Knight Rider, the theme music from Knight Rider. And Derek had brought in an expert to help him make sure he got the dance authentic. And I actually went and looked up actual Bhangra dance on YouTube, and that, it sure as heck looks hard. So, that's it for Butterfly Soup 2. I kind of like that with Noelle and Akarsha, they don't actually get together, but they both acknowledge that they have feelings for each other. So I could see them eventually actually going for it. Like with Dia and Min, their feelings were building since they were kids. With Noelle and Akarsha, they met in school, so they've probably known each other barely a year. So it, of course, took them longer. The future. Well, were they open? What do you think? It's 1 in the morning. Of course Home Depot wasn't open. There's gotta be somewhere else you could buy bolt cutters. At this hour, I'm not optimistic. Guess I'll die then? How else are we gonna get them off? I'm afraid we need to go to the fire station for help. Stop laughing, this isn't funny. This isn't funny? We're going to the fire station with me half naked and handcuffed, and it's not funny? You really can't get more dressed than that? I mean, my arms can't go through the sleeves. Hold still. I give up. Good enough. Good enough? If only I had a humiliation kink, this would have been perfect. Doesn't Min have a katana? They do. Or at least some kind of sword. Maybe we could use it to slice the handcuffs off. What, you want a surprise amputation tonight? No. So, let's go back. They, referring to Min. Acknowledgement of Min's discussion about their gender. And you're sure the key didn't fall behind the dresser? I looked everywhere. It's gone. I'm convinced that in these scenarios, small objects stop obeying the laws of physics. This never happened any of the times I handcuffed you. That, my dear, is called luck. Whatever you say, Skunky. Stop calling me that. Fine, Skunkle Pop, D. Gray Man. And don't brainstorm more new nicknames for me. But you're basically begging for it with your hair like that. It sounds as if I grew gray hairs on purpose. And how come I don't have any? You're intolerable. Noel seizes the front of Akarsha's shirt and yanks her forward, crushing their lips together. Akarsha makes a small noise of surprise and grins as she deepens the kiss, coaxing her lips open so her tongue can slide inside. At the start of the night, she tasted like watermelon lip gloss, but that's long been kissed and smeared away into oblivion. Noel can't help but think, why bother? When will you learn? I'll always kiss through every layer of crap you put between us until it's just you and me. When they part, their breaths racket, and neither of them can come up with anything witty to say. I love you. I love you more. That's impossible. No, it's not. I love you times infinity. There, I win. You can't multiply infinity. Infinity is a concept, not a number. So is love, for that matter. Well, too bad. I did it. Love you times infinity. Noel sighs, but she doesn't bother hiding the half smile tugging at her mouth. If you're going to speak nonsense, then I love you times infinity plus 1. Now get in the car. I have work tomorrow morning. Akarsha tries to respond as Noel opens the door for her, but she's laughing so hard it takes several attempts to get it out. The firefighters are going to look outside and see Prius driver dressed like Frog and Toad me. What's wrong with driving a Prius? Just get in already. I love you times infinity minus 1. I love you times infinity minus 2. Okay, how mean? Okay, well that answers that question. They did get together eventually. Oh, I really needed that. I needed that laughter. So that's it for Butterfly Soup 2. I figured it would be just as good as Butterfly Soup 1 in its own way. So, I don't know when I'll next stream. I can't make any guarantees at this point. It depends on my work situation. I will, of course, tweet when I'm going live, and I will upload to YouTube the VOD. But next will probably be World of Warcraft, because that doesn't require as much brain power as reading visual novels. I can't explain it. I can't explain how my brain works. My brain is weird. So this is going to go up on YouTube, and hopefully I can get the work situation sorted out. It's been driving me crazy. I just want to be able to work and earn money so I can buy more games. But it's become a circus. It's just been a whole bunch of hoopla, and I'm tired of it. I just want it over with. So yeah, thank you for joining me and for watching this if you're watching on YouTube. If you are watching this on YouTube, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Brain, come on. Almost done here. Get through this. I can't. Right. Stay hydrated, keep cool if it's hot, keep warm if it's cold, and I'll see you next time. Bye!